An independent review into the deaths of babies at an NHS Trust has revealed a series of failures, including in some cases the blaming of mothers for their babies dying. An inquiry was set up 3 years ago to look at fatalities and injuries at Shrewsbury and Telford Trust between 2000 and 2018. It started by looking into 23 cases of a baby dying or suffering brain injury or of a mother's death. But the review has now expanded to nearly 1,900 cases, which also include women or babies who are injured during birth. In June this year, the police launched a criminal investigation into whether there was enough evidence to support a case against the trust or against any of the individuals involved. Our social affairs correspondent Michael Buchanan has been speaking to two families whose children died.
You read the story of a baby and it died. The story of another baby and it died. I physically felt sick as I read the report.
Without these two families, the appalling care exposed today would not have been revealed, both motivated by personal grief. In 2016, Pippa Griffiths died after staff failed to act on her parents' concerns. 7 years earlier, Kate Stanton Davies died after midwives failed to properly monitor her.
Pippa should never have died. We campaigned after Kate's death for them to learn from Kate's death. If they had learned, Pippa would not have died. I feel a huge weight of responsibility that we didn't fight hard enough.
For years, the Trust ignored them, insisted maternity care was good. Today's findings, based on an analysis of 250 cases between 2000 and 2018, shows how right the families were. The review says that mothers were blamed for the deaths of their babies. There was a reluctance to carry out Caesarean sections, often with catastrophic consequences. 13 women died in labour or shortly afterwards, higher than the England average. Some of the deaths were never investigated. Can you explain why it took two families to highlight these failures?
I can't explain that. I will be honest, there have been days where I've met family after family, and I meet them privately in Shrewsbury, where I have sat down and cried, because as a fellow human being, you can't do anything other than that.
The Trust wouldn't take questions today, but did say they'd implement all 27 recommendations.
As the Chief Executive of the Trust now, I want to say personally and on behalf of the Trust that we are very sorry for all of the pain and distress caused to these families.
The full report into all 1,862 cases before the review will be published next year. Until then, these families will continue to push for real improvements.
When your children say to you, "Why are you doing this again, Mum? Why do you put yourself through this?" It's because we don't want any other families to go through the pain that we have.
And that was Kaylee Griffiths ending that report by Michael Buchanan.